Superhot.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of MavAttack. We're here with the Superhot review. Now, Superhot is a very exciting, time-bending puzzle shooter that has some pretty interesting gameplay mechanics. Now, being in development by Team Superhot, this title started out as a browser-based game a few years back, and then I actually played it on the old channel, and now it has, over the years, been developed into its own title, which is on Steam, and I believe Xbox One. So, without further ado, let's get into the damn Superhot, man. Let's go, man.
Story.
The story of Superhot is kind of this goofy, cheesy kind of hacker plot, like think of a 90s movies type of thing that it just serves as a mean to connect all of the main levels together ultimately, and it helps you learn the different gameplay mechanics, which then you can go play the more challenging levels that aren't, you know, story-based, play the more challenging levels or the endless mode in the game later on down the road. But the story here just really starts with a lot of charm, and then it just gets kind of cheesy after a while, although I will say that I respected it a lot for playing on this whole indoctrination thing, and it's a story about the ultimate viral nature of like game recommendations, which it does get kind of funny at the conclusion of the game, you know, asking you to share this with your friends and get as many people as you can to play the game. So overall, the story was definitely second in mind to the gameplay, and at times I honestly just didn't care. I just wanted to play the game, and the gameplay mechanics and the gameplay are just, they're cool, they're good. Transitioning.
Gameplay.
Superhot's gameplay is fun, it's addicting, and it's challenging all at the same time. See, it provides you with some pretty interesting gameplay mechanics with time bending, using different weapons from firearms to bottles to crowbars to baseball bats, and even a mechanic that's like body jacking. It features this thing which puts your mind into the enemy's mind, so if an enemy is shooting at you, you can jack into their mind, and then you become them and your player dies, and then you move on. Some pretty interesting gameplay mechanics that are all featured within the game. The game does feature quite a few main story levels, I think 35 in total in the main story, and then once the game is over, you're given the option to play through the different challenges, all with their own level string. So challenge 1 would be no gun mode, and then there would be like, you know, 15, 20 different levels within that one challenge mode. And then there's also endless mode, as what you guessed it is endless. It's endless survival and combat in the game. So Superhot gives you mechanics that would be damn near impossible to beat levels without, and with levels lasting only between 5 to 10 seconds in real time. The bullet time effect is vital. It is much needed in the game, and it ultimately makes the gameplay a very fun and addicting time. So I could see frustration lying in dying and having to restart each level, but because replaying is so easy and it's so frequent, it's really only the press of one button on your controller, it really becomes something that you're addicted to it instead of it being a chore to do. You just want to keep getting into the game to try and survive and keep gaming on and, you know, get to the end of whatever challenge you're on, or what, you know, the main story, whatever it may be. So being able to restart, get into the game, learn from your mistakes, it's a very, very fun and addicting gameplay, just on a basic level, and then adding all the mechanics, it just gets complex and it gets really, really interesting. But overall, the gameplay is an addicting experience that presents some very, very rad mechanics that can either work for you or work against you, and you'll see that definitely in the gameplay, whether you're playing the game or whether you're just watching it on screen as I'm talking.
Things I liked.
I really just love the gameplay mechanics, because really in gaming, down to the core of gaming, the most important thing is the gameplay. You know, the graphics can be beautiful, can look great, can look fantastic, but they're not gonna really matter during the long run. You know, the gameplay mechanics have to hold you, and they have to keep your attention over everything else, and I really love them. I really love the bullet time effects, and I really just love that the gameplay is real time, 5 to 10 seconds, but it could take you a minute and a half to beat a specific level because you're trying to make the right moves and everything. So not just the bullet time, but all of the gameplay mechanics fit really well in this game and in this setting. The level structure and the enemy reactions to what you do. The level structures are really interesting. Some will have you in an elevator fighting a little group of dudes, and then you run out into the hallway and there's just a bigger group of dudes, or you have to break into someone's room, destroy everyone in the room, then get ready for an assault. Different level structure like that really complements the gameplay mechanics, and not only that, but the enemies react to the situation. So you disarm an enemy and grab his pistol, he's gonna try to take off and grab the next weapon he can, or if there's no weapon in sight, he will just try to fight you hand to hand. which then you could shoot them, of course, but enemies are ruthless and they'll come at you with full force, so you really gotta be ahead of your game. And I really love the mechanics, the level design, and the AI all in the game. I really like the weapon variety. I didn't feel like there were too little, but I didn't feel like there was too much and it was just overwhelming. You know, there was assault rifles, shotguns, pistols, the basics, and then of course there are bottles that you can pick up, baseball bats, melee weapons, the freaking katana, which is just ruthless. You could just slice people's freaking limbs off. So the weapon variety, it just works with the game. It just works with the length of the game and the mechanics of the game. It all works out. All the characters in the game are red, this really bright red. You can't miss them. And then all the backgrounds are just this bright white. So you really see this contrast between this white background and then these red, very standouting characters. And then of course all the weapons and equipment that you can pick up are black, so there's a contrast between the red, the white, and the black. It all just really works out. The game never does anything to confuse you and make you think like what's what. You just know, you just immediately know. And then lastly, this is just kind of a minor like, something that I just really like enjoyed. I appreciate when games do this to me. They literally, your game literally crashes, like your game shuts off. Like Superhot, like you have to go back into Steam and then restart the game to resume the game. I just love when games break the fourth wall to that extent. Like that was extreme, and I don't know, I'm just a nerd.
Things I disliked.
Yeah, so things I dislike. There was not really much that I did dislike when I played Superhot. Like, okay, the story, I could have done without the story. It had interesting turns and twists and gave me kind of like a Illuminati type of like, oh gosh, there's some conspiracy shit going on. What's about to happen? Oh shit. All it really did for me, like I said earlier on, was connect each of the story levels together, and I just didn't really care too much about it. The menus as well, I wasn't a fan of the menu just because it was kind of confusing. There were a bunch of options with things that files you could open with like little special things, like little videos, special videos you could watch, or like text files, just a lot of unnecessary extra stuff that I was just confused. I was like, is that supposed to be there? Can I interact with that? I didn't really know what was going on, but I wasn't a fan of the menus too much. There just was kind of a lot going on and a lot that I didn't really know much about until I played a lot more, and then I finally figured it out. But that was pretty much it.
Overall,
Superhot, it really presents some awesome gameplay mechanics and actually rewards you as a player for not running through the game and, you know, trying to rush through everything, but instead slowing things down, planning out your moves, and taking your time to really understand the levels, weapons, and mechanics presented in the game. But do I think that it's worth it? For the current listing price on Steam, which I think it's $25 US, and it's on sale right now at the moment too, I'd say definitely check the game out for yourself and consider it. It's got some really awesome different gameplay mechanics that you haven't really seen in a game before, and I think that alone warrants a purchase. Just the amount of fun in the game, not only just considering the replayability with the challenges and the endless mode, but just the mechanics alone. I feel like every gamer should at least try to get their hands on this game. You know, if you don't want to purchase the game but you still want to try it, I am not sure if there is still the browser version of the game, but if there is, please check the link in the description below to try the game out for yourself free in the browser. That way you can really, you know, decide for yourself mixed with the review if you would really like to consider the game. But it's pretty cheap, $25 on Steam, I believe. If it's not on sale right now, it will definitely be later on in the future. So, and then with the inclusion of the story levels, the challenges, and the endless mode, I'd say there's definitely enough in the game to warrant a purchase, especially if it's on sale. Like, if it's on sale and you don't buy it, you know, on a PC or an Xbox, what are you doing? Try the game out for yourself. Check the link in the description below if you want to try the browser-based version for yourself, and the game is just 20 times better than that. So thank you guys all so much for watching this episode of MavAttack. If you appreciated this review, if it helped you out in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to attack that like button. Thank you guys all for watching. All you He-Mavs stay rad, and all you She-Mavs stay fab, and I will see you guys on the next episode of that man MavAttack, man. Fuck.
Okay. Superhot review.